in this episode.
Happy New Year, people.
Yes.
All right. Hopefully you already got kick-started on your New Year's resolutions a couple months ago. But
That's what my little exit dad advice, or whatever you want to call it, is. Fuck New Year's resolutions. Right?
In an obtuse world, Mark and Jefe will combine military, law enforcement, and general FUD knowledge to keep you vertical. Welcome to the Live, Laugh, Larp podcast.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Thanks for swinging by another episode of the Live, Laugh, LARP podcast. As you are listening to this, hopefully you're listening to it as soon as we release. It's going to be January 1st. Happy New Year to you guys. Thank you so very much for continuing to jump on board, listen to us talk into the ether, and just have a good old time. We do have a special guest filling in for Jefe. He is on vacation with his family, and I hope he's having a good time. So we've got our homie, Jake.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Hey. We always have a great time with Jake, and this is not going to be any different. We're going to be talking about a lot of things that happened over 2025. Some new things with you, too. We'll talk about that here in a second, man.
For sure.
I'm excited. That's going to be really, really cool.
It'll be cool.
But with that being said, naturally, we need to say a huge thank you to XS Sites. They are our premier sponsor for this channel, and man, let me tell you, they went ahead and booked all of 2026 to be our sponsor.
Let's go.
I know. I'm like,
good on you, XS.
Man.
That is very cool.
So if you guys haven't heard the podcast that we did with Jeff from XS Sites, please take some time out of your day after you listen to this one, of course, to go back and listen to that one. He had some really good insight on some of the things that is going on with XS Sites, a little hint into some of the things that they're going to be doing in 2026. We're excited to see him at SHOT Show. So we want to say a huge thank you to not only XS Sites, but also Jeff as well. Really do appreciate his support on all of that. So if you guys are interested in upgrading your iron sight solutions for your pistols, your rifles, your lever guns, your shotguns, whatever you possibly could need, they have, hopefully, a solution for you. If you do find something, use the code LARP. That's going to get you 20% off anything you buy from XS Sites. That's their way to say thank you for listening, and we surely do appreciate it. So
that's nuts.
That is nuts.
20%.
20%.
Jeff King?
Jeff King, that's right.
Good dude.
Yeah.
Good dude.
Solid dude, man.
Yeah.
I
met him at Goals. He's a ton of fun.
I cold called him, but basically in the business, we call it cold calling.
Right.
At SHOT Show last year. And I introduced myself, said, "Hey, what's going on?" It just so happened that Curtis from VSO Gun Channel was like 5 feet away from me talking to somebody, and I kind of name dropped him. And I was like, yeah, Curtis and I know each other, and I was like,
Have you met my friend?
Yeah, I know, right? Well, Curtis has been shilling for, I say shilling as in
sharing the good word.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Not like he's.
The only people we
I'm
actually
putting my foot in
believe
my
are
mouth.
shillers are
I know.
like dudes that get Turkish hair implants. That guy's a real shill.
Well, there's a no, but I was saying it in the loving sense is what I'm trying to get at, because I'm really good at putting my foot in my mouth. But Curtis has been speaking the good word of XS Sites for years now.
Word.
And he picked them up from taking a course at Tactical Response back in the day with James Yeager.
Yeah.
He did a low light, close quarter kind of room clearing course, and discovered that XS Sites are really, really good.
Fantastic night sights.
Yeah, for home defense type of thing.
Yep.
So he has been talking about XS Sites, has a kind of an ad read on his videos. I wouldn't say every video, but I would say probably 50% of the time.
Well, if we burn like the next 5 minutes talking about it, maybe they'll bump you guys to 25% in 2026.
No. 20% is still pretty dang good.
No, it's nuts. That's a great deal. Yeah.
That's going to not only still give you pretty much free shipping.
And tax.
Yeah. That's right. So,
and in this world, that matters.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing, man. Freaking my buddy Matt from up north, the Great White North, he lives in an area that is being troubled by
nighttime offenders.
No. There's some daycares.
Oh,
that are frauding.
Look at me.
Yeah.
I'm the babysitter now.
But he posted on his Instagram. He ordered something for like $32.99, and I don't know what it was, but it had like 6 lines of taxes.
Seriously?
Yeah. And it was tax for transportation, tax for some type of road improvement, tax for
new daycare subsidy.
Yeah. It's legit, man. So anyway, he made a couple of he made that post, and what I ended up doing was I added all of that. And it ended up being 10.7% tax.
Wild.
It is. And that's not too far off where we live.
No, but we have horrible tax in this state. It is bad here.
It is.
Yeah.
And it really, the biggest piece is like property tax.
Mm-hmm.
Nan and I were talking, and she was like, if you hadn't moved in, I don't know if I would have been able to afford
strapped right now.
Afford this house, because her property tax on this house has gone up like $3,000 in the last 4 years.
Yep.
It is unbelievable.
Wild.
And then on top of that, it's kind of cool to think that, the Chiefs are going to be moved to the Kansas side of the border.
Just for a couple $1 billion.
Yeah. And I'm starting to dive into, I'm very, very skeptical, but I'm diving into all of the
star bonds
situation. Star bonds. So if you guys don't know, they are funding the stadium construction and everything that goes into that stadium, that the Chiefs will start the 2031 season.
Yep.
And it is the largest government subsidy of a
professional ball team.
Yep. In the history. Yep. Right. And naturally,
of any organized sport in the States. Yeah.
Correct. And naturally, Missouri's pissed off about it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They're mad.
Yeah. And they're telling the Chiefs, hey, you're going to fund the destruction of Arrowhead, which, to be honest with you, it really kind of breaks my heart.
Yeah. They should definitely keep it and turn it like into something, because Arrowhead is like, it's like the Green Giant. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like there's so much history there, and it, I shouldn't even just say history. It's just like the amount of spirit that exists in the concrete itself cannot be matched. Loudest stadium in history.
Yep.
That's where the franchise was born and built. Like, it is ridiculously sad, and they're probably going to knock it down so that Kaufman can grow and they can do something better for Kaufman. But
Kaufman's moving.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they moving that downtown?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it'll still be on the Missouri side, but it will be in the like downtown area.
Right.
I don't know exactly where.
What's Westport? I thought I saw something about
Maybe
them moving
like
near
that,
there.
Yeah. Something like that. But anyway, I was happy that the Chiefs are moving to the Kansas side of it. At least Donald Trump won't get confused.
Yeah, like
where,
selfishly,
where
for sure. I'm stoked about it. Right.
But the way that they're funding it is kind of interesting, because apparently there's a whole bunch of studies that say that these large stadiums promise a lot of income through jobs and everything else, but don't there's studies that say that they don't live up to it.
Yeah, and that's because so from what I've read, the state of Kansas is going to own the stadium and essentially lease it for free for 30 years, I think, is what it could be.
Yeah.
But there's going to be like a tax or a percent of every sale, tickets, jerseys, everything through the franchise will go back to the state, and like that's how they're going to pay it back. Whereas traditionally, you would give the rights to Arrowhead. That's owned by the Kansas City Chiefs organization.
Yeah.
Right. And there's all sorts of different things that exist for Missouri and the tax and the, but like the Chiefs own the stadium. So they had to pay taxes on the stadium with the rent for all the building and everything that existed with it. On the Kansas side, when this new one's done, the state of Kansas is going to own it and do like a $0 lease for 20 to 30 years. Yeah. And then all of the franchise, everything, like I said, jerseys, drinks, parking, all of it, there's going to be some of that going back to. So when Governor Kelly says there's not going to be a single new tax for this, it's true, but everything, like the amount of money that organization makes, I think the Hunts are worth like $45 billion.
Oh, yeah. They're like the fifth richest family in the United States, So, I mean, I'm biased because obviously I'm a huge Chiefs fan, right? Same. And I grew up a Chiefs fan.
Yep.
All I ever wanted was to see them win a Super Bowl, and now they've won 3 in my lifetime. I've watched the Royals win 2 World Series in my lifetime. So, I could care less about professional sports.
Right.
However, Lamar Hunt, as an individual, in my opinion, he seemed to be a pretty stand-up guy. And I feel his son is kind of the same way.
I think so. I do.
But, flip side of that coin, as mentioned, they are the 5th or something, top 10 richest family in the United States, and they are footing hardly any of the bill.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
pretty sketchy.
Yeah,
that's sketchy.
That kind of rubs me the wrong way.
You definitely don't. You don't make your first billion without crushing a skull. Like, you don't.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
But as far as being a billionaire, compared to the rest of that group, I would say the guy's got a lot more true public good in him. Yeah. You know what I mean? What's the big word for that? The smart one.
You got me.
Philanthropy.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. There you go.
He's much more of a philanthropist than I would guess most billionaires are.
I guess I could agree with that a little bit. But we're not here to talk about the Chiefs. We're not here to talk about. Well, I mean, we could talk. I
digress. We were talking about Jeff King. He hooked us up. Oh, yes, he hooked us up at goals. Like half of the Mantis team left with employee-specific excess sites Hawaiian shirts.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, like 7 of us wore them to go play Topgolf. Like the last night of goals.
That's amazing.
It was awesome. It's still hanging up in my closet. I love it.
I mean, they're sponsoring my channel, the podcast, which is great. And again, we really appreciate that. But they ended up sending us a Christmas card.
What?
And they sent a phone charger. Like a legit, really nice phone charger.
Is it like the one you can plug in and it's a battery? Like you can do both?
Yeah.
Sick.
And not only did we get a Christmas card, we got a letter that was front and back where they went down and they talked about everyone's accomplishments.
No way.
In the company. Yeah. Talking about Jeff becoming a dad and one of his other coworkers, having a baby, and so went and shot nationals at this match. And I mean, breaking everybody down, not breaking them down, but they're breaking their year down. Right. Yeah. I thought that was first I was talking to Nan about this because, we send out Christmas cards, and, I was telling her, I was like, when I was growing up, I hated Christmas cards because it always came from my cousins. And it was like, look how great our family is.
Right.
Look at all the great things that we've done, and I'm like, that's pretty pretentious, But when done correctly, right? Like what Excess did was look at the things that we have accomplished this year and look at all the great things that these people are doing on their own time as well. You know, I the way that they worded everything was extremely sincere, and I thought that was really freaking cool.
Well, it just speaks volumes to the kind of company they are. You know what I mean?
It really
does.
does.
Real value like that?
Yeah.
Can't touch it these days.
So, you know, now I'm sitting here thinking, I was like, I've got my daily carry. One of my daily carries is my CZ P10C.
Sick.
And I have a set of iron sights that they're aftermarket. They're not excess sights. And now I'm like, I got to switch them out because of that. You
right.
know? They're night vision, and night visions are fine.
Yeah.
But now I'm at the point, and I was like, I have to switch them out because of not only what they've done for the podcast and everything else, but
just knowing that they're like real and they're good people.
Yeah.
You're like, I got to have that on my daily.
Yeah. So that'll be something I do here very, very soon. And I'm straight up going to buy them.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask. Jeff's like, whatever you need, just let me know. I'm going to straight up buy them. I'm not going to ask.
Not going to say anything.
No.
Just go buy them.
No. Yeah. And I think that's the right way to do it.
Yeah.
You know. But one of the things I wanted to do was kind of recap 2025. First and foremost, we got to talk about you.
Well, it'll come in. It'll come into 2025. We'll get there.
We'll get there?
Yeah.
Okay. So for those of you guys who are listening, if maybe this is the first time, maybe you haven't caught some of the previous episodes, Jake used to work for Mantis. Mantis Arms.
Yep.
I'll let him break that down a little as it comes, but it's been really great to have him in the area, and
it was one of those funny little things, right?
Yeah.
It was. We tried to break this down a couple episodes ago, but I think it was 2 years ago at SHOT Show. So this upcoming SHOT Show is going to be my fourth. No. Yeah, fourth. It'll be my fourth SHOT Show. And I think it was my second SHOT Show when I met you guys.
Yeah.
Working for Mantis, and, you know, that was like, SHOT Show was like my birth into the industry, which is, as anyone in the industry might know, is perfect. Because, like, it is the industry in one place. Mm-hmm. So it's a great place to wet your feet, learn things and stuff. But so any draw to home at a show like that where everything's huge, there's no major manufacturer around here, there's nothing that's like a big part of the industry. Mm-hmm. And then I met Mark and Jefe.
Yeah.
And I think it started with Elise. She's
mm-hmm.
the marketing gal at Mantis, and
mm-hmm.
she's like, oh, Jake lives right outside of Manhattan. I was living in Manhattan at the time, so, north of town. And she's like, these guys are from Manhattan. Mark has a gun channel. And I was like, oh, sick. No way. Like, I thought I was the only guy outside of the FFLs around here that were like, so it was really fun to be able to bump into you guys and meet you. And then obviously it's grown ever since. Like, mm-hmm. it's been a ton of fun. And, you guys have been there the whole way with me and allowed me to come in and share stuff that's new that Mantis was doing and exciting, and I'm always going to have huge respect for them. Like, awesome company, great. Speaking of good family values and stuff, like for sure they're way up on that list.
And one of the things that you mentioned last time, we were talking about the Titan X, and for anyone listening that doesn't know, Titan X is their new
laser training pistol.
Yeah, laser training pistol. So you get everything in a replica pistol, so you're not using your pistol.
Right.
Yep. So you get the trigger reset, you get the X10 technology, and you have the ability to put a red dot on it if you want it, which put all of that type of stuff together is going to be extremely beneficial, because 2026, Nan is going to, she doesn't know this yet, I'm going to force her into the pistol competition.
Sick.
Right?
Double tap?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So this will give us an opportunity to allow her to, get used to drawing the pistol and shooting and stuff like that.
All manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
Everything but the slide. I mean, everything.
Yep.
It's truly a really cool piece of tech. And not original, but like finally everything that you want is all in one. You know what I mean? Just like you were saying. So yeah, stand up folks. Very, very cool. Cool, cool stuff.
Well, the point I was trying to get at was that last time when we talked about that, I asked the question, well, why would we have people that's like, you don't need that type of stuff. You don't need to spend money on that. And you're like, well, yeah, you're right. You don't. But this will do X, Y, and Z better for you than just standard dry fire.
Right.
And I thought that was really cool that you were open enough to just be like, yeah, you're absolutely right. You don't need it.
Yeah.
You can just dry fire with your pistol. But if you want to diagnose some things, that's where it comes into play.
That's what technology is.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you want to make things easier and better at every chance you can. And like, in a good way, not like in a complacency way or anything like that, because technology tends to do that. Thank you kindly, ma'am. 9 out of 10.
Well, I just...
It's a lie. You're 10.
Well, what was the... We were talking about something, and I said, yeah, I just got nansplained. So it's now, anytime that Nan corrects me, I'm being nansplained. So,
that's hilarious. I like that.
But anyway.
Yeah.
So
anyway, you'll buy tech that's going to make you better, faster. It's smarter. You know what I mean? So hats off to them. Awesome people, awesome company. We left with really good graces between each other, and I haven't written them off for the future. Like, who knows, what happens
I know
in the future, but super good people. I'll definitely swing by and see them every chance I get. But yeah, when I was at our last show together down in Orlando at ITSEC, I got an offer from Silencer Co. that like I couldn't say no to. Was really excited to be a part of a little bit more core function of the industry. I'm gonna have especially around here in the Midwest, right? Like, you understand Mantis technology because you're passionate about being a better shooter,
right?
And you understand the mechanics, you understand what it did. Broad wholesale in the Midwest, they don't get that, right? Like, when you could step off the back porch and shoot whenever you want, you have a subconscious bias that like you're always going to be better than society as a whole because you get to shoot at a whim's notice. And there's truth to it. I joined the Army and was told, like, hey, country boy, just because you grew up shooting doesn't mean you're going to come in here and run an M16 just fine. We're going to break you down. That wasn't the reality, right? Like, most country dudes would say that too. Like, I shot one shy of Hawkeye, like, without really trying at basic. That all the fundamentals were built in. But I digress. Out here in the Midwest, it's tough. It's tough to sell that and try and get people on board. It's really tough to get FFLs on board because shelf space is at a premium out here. So I'm excited to be with a company where it's going to be the opposite.
It's a good point that you bring that up too. It says, we have just in our little area, I would say probably 25-mile radius, we've got 5 gun shops, I would say. We've got American Cash Exchange.
Yep.
My Home Away from Home. Plug there. TaylorMade.
Yep.
BS.
Yep.
Gun Junction.
Yep.
And then just up the road from them,
Quantico. Or
the Jeffries.
Indoors.
But then there's another one just up the road from them, just north of them in JC. It's a pawn shop. But they're kind of doing the same thing that American Cash Exchange is doing.
Oh.
It's basically a gun store
where TaylorMade used to be?
I don't know. No, I don't know.
Still in Washington?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like right next to the school.
And Tuttle Creek Outdoors, too. They're north of the lake. I
always forget about that.
Yeah. Yep.
I didn't. Do they just do outdoor stuff, or is it...
They have an FFL.
Okay.
So I don't, like, as far as retail goes, they're not selling a bunch of guns, I can tell you that.
Okay.
But they do focus really hard on, like duck blinds,
yeah.
Waders, decoys, ammo,
Right.
all that.
So there's 7.
Yeah.
Right. In just our small little area.
Yep.
So one point that you made was, counter spaces at a premium.
Yep.
That's 100% correct.
Yeah.
Even BS with their new facility that they have, pretty nice facility.
Nice little shop,
It's like jam packed.
Yeah.
Full of stuff. There's no empty shelf space anywhere.
Yeah. And none of it's garbage either.
No.
Like, that's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
You're not going in there and seeing 2 shelves full of Uncle Mike's holsters. You know what I mean? Like,
correct.
And that just speaks to the industry too. That's one of the things where
that's another thing, and I know this makes it really, really difficult. But that's one thing I would love to see more of. Is I would like to see more holsters.
You know what? We used to do this thing called Invention Lunch once a month at Mantis.
Okay.
And essentially, no disrespect to those guys, it was an IP farm for free.
Mm-hmm.
But anyone could come in and just give out any idea. It didn't have to be industry related. It could be anything. But the last one I attended, there was this great idea of a holster rental company. So, like, there are like some clothing companies that are like, we'll send you a box, try them on, keep what you want, send the rest back, and we'll only charge you, and it's a subscription service. And like, kick-ass idea, but do it with holsters, because like there's 1,000 manufacturers. And like, sometimes you want to know what's right for, like, do you want a crossbreed that's half leather, half poly? I don't. But there's a lot of old fat guys that carry strong side that do. You know what I mean? Like, there really should be a service where our shelf space is at a premium here.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't know how much of this you want to offload to the internet, because a lot of it already is. But kind of makes you wonder, like, it'd be kind of kick-ass to have a service where I could get like a Alien Gear Safari Land and, whatever else to like try for a couple weeks and be like, damn, man, I actually really like this holster.
Yeah. That would be actually pretty cool. It's almost like the Netflix of holsters, Oh man, but that's the problem though. That's one of the major problems, and one of the reasons why you rarely see a lot of holsters at gun stores is because there is so many variances.
Yeah.
Right? You've got to have a holster for just the standard pistol. Then you have to have holster for optics ready. Then you have to have
the
holsters,
comp version
with
lights,
lights, and then which light is it? You've got several different types. And do you stick to just the top brands like the Surefires and the Streamlights, or do you expand out from there and start adding in freaking
SIGs or Glocks or
I know, right?
Cloud Defensive possibly,
or even Olight or
right.
Right. I had a Beretta APX-A1 that had a red dot and a light on it, and it was the SIG light. I can't remember what it was called.
I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Yeah, right. Finding a holster for that was virtually impossible. Because no one really makes holsters for that type of light.
And do you really want custom kydex?
Exactly. Right?
Yeah.
I actually, this would have been probably late 2018, was approached by a guy that lived down outside of Wichita, who had a holster company making like the sidecar, like T-Rex style, but his I felt was a little bit better than the T-Rex, and he couldn't keep it afloat, not financially, just from time.
Right.
He didn't have the time to invest in it, and he approached me and was like, "Would you be interested in taking this over?"
Ooh.
And I'm like, I'm listening, what would that entail? And he's basically like, you buy my machines and it's all yours. And that was it. And I was like, I thought about it long and hard and tried to figure out how much money it would actually take for me to do that. And then a startup and all of that type of stuff, how much time it would take. And I could tell you right off the top, the YouTube channel would have to
go along the wayside.
I
cannot imagine. Like, because I know you have to a lot of those guys will buy like a dummy gun and then tape it to just get like that a little extra space. I don't know how many different variations, like how much Kydex you burn through just trying to get to the point where, you've got a viable holster.
Yeah.
And like how many, just like you said, that dummy gun has to accept all the different dots. So it's got to have the right footprints. You got to get all the different lights for it. I truly could not imagine.
Yeah.
And trying to organize that inventory has to be a nightmare.
Yeah.
You want to talk about SKUs on SKUs. Like I would, most of them, because they handle multiple manufacturers, they probably have SKU lines that are just like ungodly.
Yeah.
It make me sick to my stomach trying to manage all that.
Yeah. Could you just imagine just coming up with just something as simple as a spreadsheet?
Right.
That would be like, okay, here is the list of everything from Glock.
Right.
Right. And you've got your Glock 19, Glock 17, Glock 20, Glock 21. And then each one of those has MOS or not MOS. And then it's light. And then which light do you have?
Light,
and I was like, oh my God. Which is why you look at someone like Bravo Concealment. I may be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure they do not offer a single holster that is that accepts a light.
Really?
And it's for that specific reason.
Yeah.
And do you need a light mounted on your pistol? No,
probably not.
You don't. You really don't. I prefer, but I also have a light with me.
Right.
So I'm not like flagging somebody with my pistol trying to search for something.
Unfortunately, my flashlight has a gun on it now.
So, but anyway, that was, as per usual, one of our awesome tangents.
Yeah. No, I couldn't imagine. Couldn't do it.
So let's talk about 2025.
25.
Yep. Wanted to do a bit of a recap as to like some of the things that you saw, some of the big highlights from this year that was either awesome or like.
I was just thinking that. I was trying to think back to Shot of 25 because like that's usually where, and ironic here for me because I normally get to walk the floor, see what's new, listen to I was stuck at the HTI booth all year this year, so I didn't really get to go see. So I was sitting here thinking to myself, like, what were some of the big things this year? Was this the year of the lever gun, or was that 24?
No, that was pretty much last year.
It?
I think, in my opinion, it was.
What did you notice this year? I mean, obviously, late year stuff. I could talk to you about Gen 6 stuff for sure.
Oh, yeah.
RXM, that was this year.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So we could start there. That was last year at SHOT, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure that was the beginning of the year thing.
Well, when you say last year, do you mean
25?
25. SHOT of 25.
Yep.
Okay. So,
well, this comes out on the 1st, right?
Right. Well, yeah. So, as we're recording this, it is still 2025.
Yeah.
But yes, that was, and I was like, RXM. I was like, I don't.
I still like mine.
And that's great. And now that we have the Gen 6 out, I'm looking at it and I was like, these MFers just copied the homework from Shadow Systems and RX and Ruger / Magpuls and even PSA with their Dagger.
Yep.
Everything that they've done with the Gen 6, that's my biggest complaint.
Zev.
And that is my biggest, like, when it comes to my biggest letdown for 2025 is Glock.
Yeah.
Not only because of the Glock Gen 6, but also the V
series.
And everything that they've done, they basically cucked out and bent the knee, and they're like, everybody's like, well, it's because they've got to protect their bottom line, and if they fought all of these court cases, they would like go into bankruptcy. And it's like, no, they wouldn't.
No,
they wouldn't. They have so many government contracts.
Not even in this country either.
Yes.
Like they are multinational, like titans. You couldn't touch their bottom line.
Yeah.
I'm pretty exhausted by it. And this is the type of thing, and don't come screaming at me, Glock guys, because like I am a Glock guy. That is the model of like that's the style of pistol I prefer shooting. Going back to the California thing, like you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to bow the knee. And to the people in this country specifically, that was a show of submission that nobody on this side wants to have that attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Go look at Geisley. Geisley said, no more. We are not going to sell any triggers to anyone in California. Starting at the end of December, there will be no more new shipments in. They had to honor every order up to like the 29th. And then after that, they're done. And that includes any rifle that is being ported into, you know, for LE purposes or anything. You're going to have to get new triggers because Geisley will not sell any new triggers to the state of California.
I also saw a meme today that I think it was from Mr. Guns and Gear, but it showed a picture of some LEOs in California, and they all have Mini 14s because they can't get ARs anymore. It's like, that's fucking hilarious.
You're literally going backwards in time.
I know,
like,
right?
You're not doing anything progressive there.
I know. So does that mean that those companies are based, you know? Because they're like, yeah, we're not selling you rifles anymore. Screw you.
Yeah.
Or what, you know?
Seriously, though. And that's my problem with Glock. Like, that's the thing. And then to disguise the whole, like, V-Series thing, like, we did it specifically for California, and then we forced it on the rest of the market. I can't tell if, like, the V-Series was literally just supposed to be an intermediate Glock, you know, Gen 5 to tie us over, because, like, all of the new production for 6, like, there's plenty of 6s coming out right now.
Yeah.
You know, we can go to Podunk shop around here.
I got a email from a range in Wellington, which is south of Wichita.
Okay.
They are doing their January Steel Challenge. They're going to have a Glock rep because they're a GSSF range.
Yep.
They're going to have a Glock rep out there with a Gen 6. And they're like, from like 10 to 2, come out and try the Glock 6, Gen 6. And I'm like, I looked over at my buddy Jeremy and I was like, hey, what are you doing on the 10th? you want to take a trip down to Wellington? You know? So,
yeah, I don't know. I'm not super hyped on it. I'm not mad. Like, I'm not. There are things that I think should be happening to push the fold on firearms technology. I do think that, you know, it's slightly stale. We're not seeing a lot of new, you know, new additions to firearms technology.
Yeah.
We see improvements. I love that. But, like, and I'm going to slap myself in the face here because we need some growth. We need new things to push us forward. Mm-hmm. I think chassis systems and, like, FCUs are part of that. I do. I saw a post from Lucas Bakken the other day that's like, am I mad that Glock didn't have that? No, that moves away from perfection. That moves away from, like, the standard that is perfection, that has kept them reputable. And it's like, okay, I understand that. But on the flip side of the coin, you have so much R&D budget. You're so big in general. Mm-hmm. You know, like, none of us knew about the V-Series before we were slapped with it in, like, a 3-week period.
Oh, and by the way, for anybody that's wondering, that was pre-planned.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. The production was way in front of it.
Yes.
And just 60 days after that, boom, Gen 6 stuff everywhere. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, how far ahead is R&D? At least 18 months? Mm-hmm. At least? Mm-hmm. You cannot tell me that a company like Glock can't get a safe and effective FCU. Like, they have to be working on it already.
So the company that I work at, right? Mm-hmm. Their new product introduction, what we call an NPI, we have 2 different projects. We have an NPI, new product introduction, or an MI, new market introduction, right? Those are 2 separate projects that we work on when it comes to releasing something new.
Right.
Whether it's existing in a new market or it's completely brand new. That program is at least 3 years.
Yeah.
At least 3 years.
Yeah.
And that is the development, putting it into production, getting samples out into the field, running, like, when it comes to, like, say,
safety,
a pneumatic
right.
type of product. They put millions of cycles through it, right? And thousands of hours before they're like, okay, this is good to go for production.
Right.
Here's the minor internal changes that we need to make to reinforce this, to help with this, like hydraulic line or whatever the case may be. And then it goes out into the market.
Right.
So there still are problems from time to time, but that's just manufacturing.
Right.
But going back to Glock, man, freaking the V model, the reason I guarantee you the reason why none of the V models were MOS is because those were probably the first
ones off the line. Yeah.
For the Gen 6.
Yep.
And the Gen 6 has all of the V upgrades.
Yep.
Quote unquote upgrades, right? So I called that the first person I saw who released anything from the release party. That's exactly what I call it, a release party. I was not part of the cool kids that were invited.
Shame.
I know. That's fine. I don't know if I would have gone anyway. But QVO Tactical, he did one of his close up, here it is, flipping it back and forth and all of that type of stuff. And I was able to pause it the moment that he turned it so I could see the back plate.
Mm-hmm.
And the moment that he did that, I paused it and looked at it, and I was like,
that's the same thing as the V series.
Yep, same thing.
Yep.
So what they've done, what they have done to make the Gen 6 is they've moved the V series internals over on the slide. They're now offering MOS, and then they have updated, quote unquote, updated the frame to give you that shelf.
Oh,
that gas pedal.
The gas pedal, yeah.
There's a palm swell.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have reverted back to like some of their old grip texture.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a slightly different variation of the same stippling, but like also doesn't have the finger molds on it and stuff like that.
Right. So and here's
will
the thing.
I shoot one? Yeah, dude. Of course, I'm a Glock guy.
Of course, yeah.
But, like, I'm not excited. Like,
see, and I'm not necessarily. I own a Glock.
Right.
I understand and appreciate its place in the market.
Right.
Because they are the juggernaut.
Yeah.
Regardless if you like it or not, if it's a polymer frame striker fire pistol, the baseline is a Glock.
Yep.
And how you go from there is how you improve on it, right?
Yep.
So I own a Glock, but I carry a CZ P10. That's just my go-to because I shoot it better.
Right.
I'm not embarrassed to say that when I shoot a Glock, it's low left all the time. I can't fix it. I can't fix it. I used to be able to shoot Glocks very, very well, but because of this YouTube channel and every single week, it's a new
gun.
Yeah. There's all these training scars, and it's unfortunate, but I have found that the P10, I shoot it well. I hate to say this, but the P365 X Macro Comp, shoot it really well.
Yeah, great gun.
I hate to admit that, but I shoot it really well. I just don't carry it anymore because of SIG. And then the Echelon.
I love that Echelon, dude.
I just, the only reason why, the only ding on the Echelon is it doesn't group well with the range ammo that I use.
Yeah.
So I've got to figure that out. But
that brings me full circle, though. What did Glock do that's revolutionary? Nothing. And they kind of took from, from everyone else who did their homework and released things. Like, and here's why I think, I grew up a JDM guy. Like, Fast and Furious was my life through high school. Like, I love tuner cars. I love modularity. That's what I love. And when I started buying guns, I started with a Glock 27. And like I swore up, I was a 40 guy too. So yeah, strange enough.
So that's a subcompact 40.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's the 40 version of the 26.
Yeah,
and I bought it specifically because of the modularity. You know, like I could put like a Recover Tactical rail on it if I wanted a rail to have a light. Like, you know, I could run full-size mags with the X-Grip edition on it. You know, it took 19 barrels. So, like, I could do a lot with it because I was poor. And, like, I wanted to take advantage of something that I could use in a lot of different scenarios. And, like, I love that gun. But when I grew up, started buying more guns, starting shooting a lot more, I was like, okay, obviously, like, 9's cheaper. I can find it a lot more available, so I'm going to quit shooting 40. Like, bought a 19, bought a 17. You know, it really just started stepping up from there. But that's what takes me back to this whole thing is like with the Echelon, the removable FCU. Like, I think that is a godsend for multiple reasons. The modularity. Like, Bakken made like a valid point when he's like, you're not going to want to tear your pistol all the way down to put it in a new configuration and then go shoot it for a while. And it's like, yeah, maybe, but I kind of love my Flux Raider right now. Like, I love it. And I'm not like super sold that I'm going to take that FCU out and put it back in the frame, partially because SIG and 320, but also because like I love the Raider, you know, like it's a sick chassis. It's a cool frame. And like the modularity allowed me to do that. I didn't have to go buy a subgun because I'm poor. So like it, you know, there's this line here where if Glock wants to take full advantage of the market, they want to be seen as a company that wants to innovate and do something different. Yeah. Don't give me a gas pedal and an updated shell. Like suppressor height and steel sights. Could you at least do that? The RXM that's cheaper comes with that, you know?
Or
like,
I don't, something, steel sights. Why are we in 2026 and Glock has released a new pistol that still has polymer sights?
That aren't even suppressor height. Like, that bothers me because we're going into January 1st where suppressors are going to start getting heavy. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to have... So, a lot more manufacturers, if they haven't already, are going to start giving you
freaking
stock.
PSA.
Yes.
PSA now has suppressors. Yes. Not selling suppressors through... what is it? Capital Armory or whatever it is.
Right.
No, they have their own
manufacturing.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
CMMG. They haven't been producing their own suppressors until the zeroed model, right? And they just did that this year. You know, so 2025. So mid 2025 they released it. I think they released it July 1st, which corresponds with like SOT tax stamps and all that type of stuff.
Yep.
Licensings is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, and that's one of the greatest things that has happened in 2025.
Yeah,
is the suppressor.
That is cool.
That is the suppressor is it just blowing up. The suppressors are just. I'm now seeing suppressors from companies I've never even heard of anymore. That freaking man, the guys over at American Cash Exchange today just showed me a new one. And they're I think they're like marketed towards women because all of their suppressors are pink.
What?
Yeah, every single one of them. Yeah, and I'm like, they have 22s, 9s, 45s,
and they're all pink.
They're all pink.
Huh.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I walk in, and immediately when I walk in, Brett's like, "Oh, dude, we got the suppressor for you." And then Troy's like, "Yeah, you got to look at this. You need to reach out to them. You need to get a sample, and you need to get one in to do a video on." And I was like, "Okay, well, what is it?" And he types it in, shows it to me. It's like Wicked something. I can't remember what it's called. Wicked Gal or something. I don't know. I'm making it up at this point. But then he showed it to me, and they're like, he scrolled down, they're all pink.
All pink.
Yeah. And I'm just like, dude,
it'd match your IAR barrel. Maybe you should do that.
That's hilarious. But that was one of the biggest things I thought was pretty cool is seeing the expansion of suppressors, especially now in 2026 that, you know, the tax stamp for now.
I'm positive, dude. I'm not positive. I'm not positive of anything.
For now, like, it's the tax stamp is zeros, right?
$0,
$0,
which makes it a registry. The other side of me is super pissed about this, but I'm a poor, so like I'm excited about not paying for stamps.
And that's my brother. My brother does not make as much money as I do, and just because of, happenstance through life and everything, I've just so happened to literally stumbled into a really good job.
Right.
And unfortunately my brother, he's struggled a little bit financially, and whatever, he's happy. He's doing the things that he loves to do, and I'm happy for him. But he made a comment to me just, 2-3 weeks ago. He's like, I think I'm going to go ahead and get my first suppressor. And I was like, cool.
Hell yeah.
What are you getting? And he's like, well, I don't really know yet. And I was like, okay, this is where you need to figure out what you're going to get, what you're going to put it on. Do you want something that is going to be a multi-cal capable?
What is the purpose of your suppression?
Exactly,
yeah.
Right? Do you want something that can handle rifles and pistols? And he was like, oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. And I was like, yeah. Man, freaking the Dead Air Wolfman. It is a 9mm can that can handle
30 cal,
freaking 5.56.
Yep.
It has like no restrictions on barrel length.
Right.
I was like, it's expensive. It's kind of expensive for you. And I says, but then when are you planning on picking it up? And he's like, oh, I'm going to wait until the first of the year. And I was like,
you're not going to get it until June, big dog.
I don't know.
If you're lucky.
We'll see.
Yeah, honestly, I'm talking out of my ass when I say that. That's
Sure.
not an insider thing. Like, that very well possibly could be.
But at the same time, though, I also believe that the ATF is going to self-sabotage. I honestly feel they're just going to be like, well, the servers went down.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. This is political, too. But, like, there's a real possibility that this administration that, let's be honest, isn't exactly pro-gun. Like,
they say they are.
Well, you could pull a bump stock on them, right? And, like, the problem with suppressors is people don't understand, like, why they're necessary. Mm-hmm. It has nothing to do with Hollywood. Like, that's the thought process. Mm-hmm. Is like, oh, they're damn, you can't see the signature or the gun flash. Like, they're so quiet, you'll have no idea where the fire's coming from. It's like, no,
Bro.
This just makes you a good neighbor. Like, that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Is you're sick of living near a gun range or driving past it, or like, you're just being a good neighbor. You're just being nicer to everyone else around you,
I mean, we have to have a muffler on our car or we get ticketed, right? Now, obviously, I was going to say cars are more prevalent than firearms, and I'm like, well, no, that's actually not true.
They're not.
They're not.
This isn't Europe, which ironically has more suppressors on guns than we do
I know.
Per capita.
Yes, because of the, what's the word I'm looking for? The consideration for others.
Yeah.
That's
Being
the whole
a good
point.
neighbor.
Yes, exactly,
Yes.
right? Like if you go hunting in Europe, they expect you to have a suppressor on your firearm. I don't know how much hunting actually happens in Europe.
I mean, they're around. They hunt.
They do, but I don't know.
Not like us, but they hunt.
It is really weird. Have you seen some of the hog hunts that they do
in Europe?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's like they have like tree stands, and they just stand there, and they flush them.
What?
Like with dogs.
That's sick.
Yeah. And so naturally they're in these stands, so they're elevated, keeps them off the ground, makes them a little bit more
safer,
right? Yeah. But they'll flush these hogs with dogs, and then they just freaking cap them. But they usually have suppressors,
Yeah.
Outside of that, I'm not 100% sure. But dude, freaking totally off topic. I got to tell you this. Freaking RD from American Cash. Did you see what his new rifle is?
No.
He bought off of like Gunbroker.
Okay.
Just for personal use. This wasn't for the shop or anything. He bought a 416 Rigby.
Sick.
It's a CZ whatever. CZ 700. What I don't know what it's called. But it's chambered in 416 Rigby.
What's the difference between a Rigby and a Barrett? Because like I'm picturing a 416 Barrett right now.
Right. So
Do you know?
I don't know necessarily the difference other than the case design.
Right.
That's really what it boils down to, right? It's like saying the difference between a 5.56 and a 243.
Right. Okay.
Right.
So super similar.
Yeah. They're similar. It's just the 416 is going to be obviously the diameter of the bullet.
The round, right.
But the case of the Rigby is going to be more similar to a 30-06 on steroids.
Okay. All right.
Not 416.
416 Barrett's like a 50 cal shell, neck
Correct.
down to like a 416 round.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's not 50 cal size.
Right.
But that I put it next to a 223 round, and it's like half the size. It's like ridiculous. Because
what's he doing with that? Yeah.
He's going to go to South Africa.
Sick.
And hunt Cape buffalo.
Ah, that is cool.
Yeah. And
So is that rifle on a woodstock then?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's clean.
And this is the thing that kind of had me scratching my head for the longest time. Was what made him rather come to that point where he was like, I want to go to South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's probably something that he's wanted to do for quite some time.
Who in this industry that shoots a lot doesn't want to go on a safari and drop like a buffalo or an elephant, or you know what I mean?
You know, I've thought about
elephant.
Like,
maybe is not right there, but
right? Yeah. But I've thought about like a bison hunt here in the United States.
Hell yeah!
And I just sit there and think to myself, I was like, I don't know. Where's the sport in it? You know?
Well,
because buffalo, I don't know. I wrestle with it in my head.
My thought process is like shooting a prairie dog with a 22 versus the feeling you get when you drop like that beautiful whitetail or muley or pronghorn, you know, and then scaling that up to like caribou or elk, and then scaling that up to moose. It's like I could not. Thinking about shooting a moose makes my heart palpate. Like that, dude. The rush would drive me up. And so shooting a buffalo or a bison, same thing, dude.
To me, it's like
the size matters.
Sure.
Yeah.
For me, though, it's like with whitetail.
Right.
Whitetail are extremely elusive.
Right.
So you have to understand their
work that hunt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have to understand their travel corridors. You have to understand their feeding cycles. You have to understand their rut cycles, their breeding cycles. You have to understand, this buck that I see in October, I'm probably not going to see him in November because they have like a 12-mile radius when the rut starts coming into play, right? So then you move to like a Cape buffalo. And a Cape buffalo, in my mind, is like big, lumbering, they'll move like 300 yards in a day. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just making that up in my head.
Yeah.
Right. But I was sitting here thinking to myself, I was like, why would homeboy want to go on that? Other than the fact that he's going to South Africa.
It's in Africa.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
And then it clicked. We were having a discussion and he was like, hey, do you know who, what's his name? Tim
Walls from Minnesota?
No. It is the founder, owner, proprietor of Buffalo Boar.
Oh.
It is Tim. I can't think of his name. I'm trying to look him up right now. Buffalo Boar. It's Tim something. Tim Solders. Anyway, he lives in Africa like a quarter of the year.
Oh, sick.
He has a home in Africa. He goes there and hunts. And then it clicked. I've been watching all of his videos on YouTube. Because he has some really good videos talking about the differences between, like, 357, 44 Magnum. Which one should you carry if you're going to be in the woods for bears and stuff like that? Yeah,
right.
And one video, he's like, if you're going to be in the lower 48, 357 should cover it, and this is the load that I would recommend. Obviously, buffalo boar.
Right. Yeah.
He's done some videos about kind of pulling the curtain back on his relationship in the industry between him and Underwood and him and Hornady, and he's kind of made some ripples,
I believe that.
He basically he told a story about how Hornady tried to kind of shut him down because he was the only manufacturer for like a Limbaugh cartridge. It's like 500 Limbaugh and 448 Limbaugh or something like that. It's a very niche.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a very niche cartridge. It's a rimmed, quote unquote, pistol caliber.
Huh.
But it's been invented by this gentleman with the last name of Limbaugh.
Okay.
Well, Buffalo Bore was the only company making that ammunition. And he had the rights to use his name and all of that type of jazz. But the moment that the guy passes away and Buffalo Bore vanishes because Tim is done,
yeah,
then that's the end of it. Whereas Hornady comes in and was like, talks to the inventor of the round and says, hey, we're going to get this Sammy spec'd and your name will go to the history books. And so he basically told Buffalo Bore, I'm going with Hornady. So I'm sorry, but they're going to put me in the history books.
Yeah, that's where legacy comes in. I have to do it.
Exactly.
In my whole life.
And obviously it's going to come with a check.
Yeah, right.
With it, right?
Yeah.
So that kind of put a strain in their relationship.
I'm sure.
And unfortunately they no longer talk to each other, but
how's this tie back to RD?
So RD had talked to me about how he was talking about Hornady and his relationship there, and I started watching all this stuff. Then I started watching all of this stuff that comes about with his Africa hunts and stuff like that, and I was like, that's it. Freaking RD, and I could be wrong on this, but RD has now figuratively and literally pulled the trigger on going to South Africa because he got the push from Tim.
For sure.
And his content.
I get it. Like, we're all subconsciously biased in some certain way, right? Like, we're tribal beings. It's what we are. That's just how we operate. I like the TCM round, like I didn't do a lot of
Tim Sundles.
Sundles?
Yes, Sundles.
Definitely ring a bell.
Yeah. So I would love to see if he's going to be at SHOT Show. I would love to be able to go and talk to him. Yeah, and see if he can get on the podcast because
that'd be sick.
He's got so many stories, dude. He went to Africa and he got freaking he got fined Alaska. He went up to Alaska. He has this like 30-minute long video where he talks about going to Alaska, hunted moose in this specific area for like 3 years. And the last year that he hunted moose up there, at least during this story, he was fined for poaching and had all of his stuff taken from him.
Ooh.
His rifles, his obviously his moose, and his buddy's moose as well.
Scratching on hundreds of thousands of dollars. Maybe not that aggressive, but like seriously aggressive.
His side-by-sides, even his boots. They took his boots.
Why?
Because he harvested a moose in a specific area that had very specific bylaws on what they could and could not do. He followed them as per the instructions he was given by the local game and fish guy, and this sheriff didn't like what he was doing. So basically found a way to like charge him
right
with poaching, and then they
take
confiscate
all of his stuff.
So he ended up I think he pleaded like no contest and agreed to pay like a $7,000 fine, but was able to get all of his stuff back,
including the harvest,
to include the harvest. Now the meat's
done.
At this point is done,
Yeah.
right? But he got to keep the antlers of the moose. So he goes into the sheriff's department to pick up, or the highway patrol, whatever it is, to pick up all of his stuff with his lawyer and his wife, who is a former DA.
No way.
Yes. And he walks in, and the sheriff or deputy who basically charged him originally made the comment of, we have never given back like any type of antlers or any type of harvest from something that's been confiscated. And the judge got it wrong, even though he had a court order saying you have to give it to us. The deputy was like, we're not doing it, or I'm not giving it to you.
What?
Yeah. He got everything back except for the moose antlers. And so he was like, Tim was like, this is the hill I'm going to die on.
I'll sue for that.
He sued him, and they tried to settle with him on 3 separate occasions because they knew they were wrong.
Yeah.
And according to Tim, if you try to look up the case, you can't find it on any of the websites or anything like that. But he has all of the case numbers and everything, so you can eventually find them. But eventually, what ended up happening was after he sued, he ended up winning, settling.
Right.
But when he settled, he quote unquote won
yeah.
because they paid him back the $7,000 fine that he had to pay. He got all of his stuff back, to include the antlers. And then on top of all of that, the deputy who made the initial charge, eventually, not because of Tim, but eventually they started looking into some of the other
His
cases.
Background.
Yeah. And found that there were a lot of skeptical things, and he had to resign. And when he resigned, they took all of his credentials as well.
Really?
So he could never work in law enforcement ever again. Now, like I said, it wasn't because of Tim, but Tim was a part of that.
He was the catalyst of why.
Exactly, right? So anyway, that's why I love watching his content, because he has all of these stories about that type of stuff. But let's digress.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I'd go to Africa for that, dude.
I know, right? I'm just trying to go to freaking Alaska,
Alaska
to do
sick.
To do like a caribou hunt,
I have a cousin who's native in Alaska. He's cousin-in-law, married my first cousin. But he's Alaska native and like has specific rights to fishing grounds. And he's always invited me up to go work on the boat with him, and like I've had a couple other cousins go up and work for a season for him, stuff like that. But I've been infatuated with the idea of Alaska for a long time. I just thought it'd just be sick to be able to go up there for a hunt or a fish and just give it a run. Because like, as far as like true frontiers that are left in this country, like kind of that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You still have some kind of like Wyoming.
Yeah, dude. Wyoming,
Montana,
Idaho, Montana. Like that exists.
That area right there. I mean,
Yeah.
I suppose you could probably throw in the Dakotas a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
But Alaska is well, the YouTuber Alaskan Ballistics has invited me up to do a caribou hunt.
I would jump on that so hard.
I thought maybe I could do it in 26. I don't think I'm going to be able to. Maybe 27, but I asked him, I was like, okay, so how does this work? What would happen? And he's like, okay, well, you obviously you get your plane ticket, come up here, you get your licenses.
Yep.
So both of those together is going to be, we'll call it 2,000.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Obviously, you have to transport your firearm up there.
Right.
How to get the meat back, I don't know. But what he did say was from his house to to get to the trailhead is a 2-day drive.
Ooh, that's
2
wild.
days. Just get to a point where you start to hike in. And then when you hike in, it's another, I think by law, you have to be 5 miles off of the nearest road or something like that.
I wonder, do they have like a lottery system too? You know, like sometimes we have lottery systems for like elk or bison or.
I don't know about that. I think if
they
you
might just be plentiful enough, or like the laws surrounding the hunt in general are enough to like deter.
I think so. Yeah. Because those caribou herds are huge,
massive, right?
Yeah. Then, so he was saying that once we get in, we hike back in, we'll camp, and then get up the next morning, get into our spot, hopefully take a caribou. If we do take a caribou or 2, we then quarter it, take it to the river, and you raft it down, back down to the trailhead.
Wild.
Yeah. And
that's so much more than just like a ticket up there, and like you're talking.
It's a whole experience.
You gotta have the gear, the radio that can reach SOS. You good glass, all of it.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that would be so sick, though.
Yeah, it would be. I would be. I'm down for it. I just, like I said, I've got to come up with the time to do it.
Oh God.
Which is, it's one of those things that you're just going to have to sacrifice time to do it, right?
Yeah. Burn all your PTO to make that happen.
Well, yeah. I think a week to include weekends would suffice.
Yeah.
Like I'd start my travel like on a Friday evening, get up there probably Saturday. We'd take a couple of days to drive in. And so, yeah, it's probably going to be 5, 7, 9 days for sure. Right. But one of the little kind of side things that I want to do hopefully this year is I'm looking into starting a new YouTube channel that would be focusing on the Wyoming property.
Sick.
So it would like not be any type of gun content. It's just like off-grid living.
You're in general. Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to try to explore that this year. And in order for me to do that, that means, take a lot of trips out.
Yeah.
So
even more time.
That's time that I'm not going to be able to have for, that awesome Alaska trip. So,
well, I'm excited to hear that doesn't start just yet. When Jefe told me he was going to SHOT this year too, I was like, dude, yes. I'm really excited for SHOT this year.
Mm-hmm.
I really, not just because of the new gig and everything, but my dad's going.
Really?
Yeah. Got him some Mantis credentials. He's going to be a part-time employee to be able to get into SHOT this year. So,
nice.
Yeah. Really excited to be able to show Dad that world. And on top of the new gig, going back to see some old friends. Like when I heard you guys were going, I was like, dude, that's perfect. That'll be even if you guys like don't want for a recording or something, I get plenty of airtime with you guys. So,
yeah.
But just being able to come hang out, do something, I think would be really fun, especially be able to show Dad. So, yeah, dude, I got a really good feeling that 26 is going to be a good year.
I think so too. And we're going to see probably a lot of changes within the industry, I think.
Yeah.
Specifically because of the tax stamp going away.
Yeah, we always think suppressors, but like, dude, that's SBS, SBR, AOWs. Like that's going to change a lot of things in general.
So. Yep.
We might see some actually like cool, funky new firearms this year because like AOWs are going to be cheaper as well.
Yeah.
So,
well, FN has a post today talking about the best kept secret in the industry is going to be, well, when I say today, the 30th of December. So I don't know when exactly they're going to release it.
SHOT.
Probably.
Gotta be, right?
Yeah. But it's got to be a replacement for the SCAR.
Right.
So, that's immediately what my mind goes to. If it's a pistol, I'm going to be like, bro.
I mean, the 5.7 was revolutionary when it came out. You know what I mean? Like, it really could
2006?
be
2006?
Yeah, exactly. Like, it really could be something like that. Like, I've never seen like a really kick-ass foldable carbine from them. Maybe we get like a really cool like FPC, what's the high point, the cool high point one? You know what I mean?
The 2000?
Yeah,
S2000?
sub 2000, yeah. Or Keltec, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what if we get something really kick-ass like that from FN? Or, I'm excited about the potential for this year that could change a lot of things. And most of the law dogs are already on it, like GOA, the SAS, like obviously good old NRA. There's a lot of pending Jan 1.
Yeah.
Because a dollarless tax stamp, is a registration.
Correct.
So there's some real potential for the industry to just like really, I would guess come June. That's usually when we start seeing some stuff from the Supreme Court after January 1st introductions.
Yeah.
That like,
and then you usually get a lot in June as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Real potential this year.
Yep. So one of the next things that I think exploded in 25 was FRTs.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
So
yeah,
so
many different ones.
Yeah, and so we had a whole bunch of I would definitely say good things, because now FRTs are extremely prevalent, but we also had a whole bunch of like drama as well.
You mean like just things that naturally stem from FRTs? Like, are you talking like V series Glocks, like that kind of drama?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, kind of like that, but like with Rare Breed, right?
Yeah,
they were able to quote unquote win their case.
Lawsuit against. Yeah,
they didn't win shit. They settled, and someone made a comment in one of the reels that I made a comment about Rare Breed that they have become a de facto registry for the ATF.
Ooh.
Because prior to all of the FRT issues and them getting sued and all of that type of stuff, Rare Breed didn't keep anyone's information.
Right.
They kept zero. They like deleted it as soon as they shipped their product off. Deleted. Right. Now they're keeping all of their all their customers' data.
That's wild.
They're going after other manufacturers for patent infringement. They have promised that they won't produce anything for a Glock.
Dude.
Why Glock specifically, though?
Because, they're the ones that sold out to the industry.
Yeah. So you've got all of these different things going on with just Rare Breed, but then you also had, starting way back in September of last year, of 24, at TriggerCon, you had the AK FRT.
Yeah.
With Trigger Empire.
Yep.
And then there was that whole fiasco with that. And now we've seen
the AK reset, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now we have like 3 different companies doing that. You have
for
Mars.
AK?
Yeah, just for AKs. You have Mars. You've got the offshoot of Trigger Empire. I can't remember what they're called.
Okay. Give me a quick 30-second dirty on that, because I thought they were still around. I thought they were kind of the original for the AK.
Not Trigger Empire.
No.
So Trigger Empire is defunct.
They are?
Yes, they went away.
That was quick.
Because the guy who started it, this young kid, and I have to give him kudos for being young and ambitious to try to get into something like this. But essentially what happened is he basically ordered a whole bunch of product from a company, Mars Triggers, to do all the machine work for their components, and then basically brand it Trigger Empire. They did a whole bunch of pre-sale, and then allegedly all of that stuff just went away.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So
they had functional triggers at TriggerCon.
I saw them, yeah.
I shot one, worked.
Mm-hmm.
I was interested. Clayco 47, he did a video, There was some issues that Clay talked about. He's like, there's some tweaking that needs to be done to refine it a little bit.
Sure.
But then all of a sudden they just like disappeared. And it was because all of a sudden the suppliers were like, where's our money? And there was no money.
Really?
Yeah. So
this wasn't like a hey, thanks for letting us manufacture your patent. We'll make it better. And like, there was none of that. It was like straight up.
Yeah.
Trigger Empire.
Yeah. Trigger Empire. Their engineer, who now has done. He's now working on the AK trigger under a different name.
Okay.
I think it's called Texas Triggers.
Okay.
And he did all the work and was supposed to get paid, never got paid. And so there's that piece of it. The supplier who was going to do all the machine work for Trigger Empire's specific trigger that's different from Mars. They're a little bit different, so there's not any like patent infringement, right? But Mars did all the machine work for them. What I've been told, they never got paid. And then the individuals who pre-ordered everything, I was told never got their product.
Ugh.
But then later on in 25, when I started reaching out to other content creators who were all of a sudden starting to show this AK reset trigger from what was Trigger Empire. Now it's a new name.
Okay.
I'm like, wait a second. This is a shell game at this point.
Right.
I said, be very careful. And I was told at that point in time, we've done our digging. We've looked into it. No one who, or everyone who ordered a pre-order Trigger Empire trigger supposedly got their product or was refunded. Supposedly. I don't know how that works, but so you've got that drama there. Then you got the rare breed drama as well. And so that's why, what is it? Delta Team Tactical?
Yep.
That they're gone.
Yep.
Well, I don't know if they're gone. They're not selling the FRT anymore.
I was going to say they're not doing FRTs. I still get a lot of Delta Team emails, but no FRTs in there.
December 23rd, Hoffman Tactical got issued a
cease and desist.
No, they're being sued for patent infringement and defamation
from
Rare Breed.
Rare Breed.
Yeah.
That's exhausting, dude. You would think that, like, obviously that opens up your game, right? Like, let more manufacturers do it. Don't get shied out by competition. Like, use that to broaden your market and then start. Dude, like the TX22 triggers, make your own.
Mm-hmm.
Glock triggers, make your own. Like, why on earth would you back down from that? That sounds crazy to me.
Yeah.
That market is way too small to try and corner right now.
Exactly. Yeah. And that was my comment on this Instagram reel was Rare Breed is systematically destroying their own company.
Their own market. Yeah.
And people are like, oh, no. And this guy, one person just like went down the list and is like, this is this and this and this and this and this and so on and so forth. And I'm like, yeah, dude, that's not okay. Anybody with two eyes that looks at the Rare Breed trigger and then looks at the Hoffman Tactical Super Safety can see that they are two completely different products.
Yeah.
So, and oh, by the way, the settlement for the ATF and Rare Breed focuses in on one of the two different patents. There's one that's like patent 223 and patent 243 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the ATF focused on one of the patents, but Rare Breed is trying to put their arms around both patents, and they really can't do that.
Right.
Not to mention, Hoffman Tactical put out a video months ago before the lawsuit even hit. This would have been probably like in June, very soon after the settlement with Rare Breed from the ATF. Hoffman Tactical put out a video saying they can give me a cease and desist all they want, but my product's completely different.
Yeah.
And here's how.
Yeah.
And he broke down the patents, right? So that was one of my clapbacks to one of the people that's like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Rare Breed's actually defending their IP and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, well, Hoffman Tactical explained in detail how he doesn't. And the response I got back from that was, I don't need to listen to some guy from the internet or from YouTube to tell me. And I was like, it's the guy. It's literally the guy who is being sued is telling you exactly how his difference.
It's not me, dude. It's the dude.
Yeah. And not to mention, he breaks it down per the patents and how his differs from the patents and everything.
Dude, and the whole patent thing is wild. Like, I understand protecting IP. Don't get me sweat on that. But, like, we live in a world where technology gets tenfolded in, like, 3 months at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, top to bottom, between machining and, you know, the manufacturing process, it's all backed by software now, and software changes overnight these days. So it's like there needs to be some type of general protection against the product that you started. There does. But everything is so accessible and everything can be changed so quickly, like in any industry you point at, that like these little IP wars that we have are kind of fucking stupid. Like, obviously I'm not like a, you know, I'm no shaman. I couldn't tell you what the future looks like and like how we do that better in the future. But I can tell you right now that like more lawsuits are being like put out, sent, and settled and won based on IP than anything else in the world right now. Like the patent office, we think the ATF is bad. The patent office is like 100 times that beast. You know what I mean? So we need to figure out a way to like settle our differences. And that's why I think this whole like rare breed Hoffman drama is nuts. Yeah. Because like clearly they're different products. They achieve the same goal. So like both of you should be co-marketing at this point. You know what I mean? Like there should be a way for you like to pull a Wendy's on Twitter and start just like slapping each other, laughing about it, because the reality is like it's a market that's wide open for both of you. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And I from my perspective as a layman, again, looking at both of the products and seeing the difference, right? The rare breed trigger creates a force reset, right?
Yeah.
Of the trigger.
Yep.
Okay. And does so through a trip lever and a cassette trigger.
Right.
The super safety does the exact same thing, utilizing a trip lever in the safety mechanism.
Right.
Which is completely different from the rare breed trigger.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why people want to die on the hill protecting rare breed as if they are some, infallible saint that won, beat the ATF. They didn't do shit, man. They saw an exit and they're like, we're getting off.
Yeah.
And we're going to take everything that we possibly can with us.
Yeah.
And kudos to them. I understand that what he has gone through.
I wouldn't want to fight the U.S. government.
Yeah. What he has gone through.
Yeah.
I completely sympathize. I get it. However, what he has done since is irreprehensible, right? Coming up to new companies and like, hey, going to NRAM and handing out cease and desist letters.
No way.
Yes. Yes, man. Freaking the Arc Fire trigger, the company that does that, they posted it on their Instagram. He's standing there. The owner of the company is standing there with a piece of paper in the hand that was given to him by the owner of Rare Breed, who's also in the picture.
Wild.
Telling him to stop making what his product. And so those people, whoever makes the Arc Fire, I can't remember the name of the company, but them and Atreus are the two that have said, F you. They've stuck up their middle finger and said, we're not stopping. We're going to continue to do what we're doing.
Because they're different.
Yeah.
And I respect that. Yeah.
Now, they are similar to the super safety because it is a safety lever mechanism.
Right.
Whereas Rare Breed is a trigger. So they have where the super safety is like a push button style, cross bolt type of thing. Atreus is a safety lever.
Three position
safety lever. Yeah. So, I can see where those differ, because the super safety, you push the button all the way in, that's semi, and then you bring it back to the center,
and then it's super safe.
It's super safe,
right?
Whereas the Atrius, which is their what do they call it? Their force reset safety, I think is what they call it. FRS, yeah, the FRS, force reset safety. It's a standard AR-15 safety, safe, semi, and then third position is super safe, right? So they achieve the same goal, but do it in using different geometry.
A different mechanical lever or button.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that whole thing is wild to me. But I'm excited to see where it goes. I really think, my brother just bought a TX22, and like I've been trying to convince him, dude, you need a TX22, not just because like he's got a little boy and he needs to start learning how to shoot pistol, but like also, bro, like that trigger's $140. Like we could do that. That'd be sick.
And it's just a little piece of like it's like I don't know how to install it, but I know that Nan's brother-in-law just got everything. He got the TX22, which is really interesting because the TX22, the barrel has like a shroud.
Yeah. That actually threw me off because I was like, that one doesn't look threaded. And he's like, no, they're all threaded. I was like, what? I had no idea that you could like do it that way.
Yeah.
Super
I thought that
cool.
was super cool. Yeah. So kudos to Taurus. I don't usually have good things to say about Taurus, but I will say that I've seen marked improvement.
Dude,
with
some
them.
shit is cringe for sure. Hey, we're never all we can't hit a home run every time. You know what I mean?
Well, just in comparison to where they were like 7 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Or not even that. Like, I mean, go a little bit further back.
4 years ago.
Well, you go a little bit further back, and I don't remember the type of pistol it was, but there was a certain type of pistol that there was a very huge safety concern, so bad that if it was loaded and you shook the pistol in your hand, it would go off.
Ooh, that's spooky.
Yeah. It was really bad. And then the PT-111, it had some issues that turned into the PT-11 Gen 2.
Right.
And then the Gen 2 came to be the G2C.
G2, yep.
Yeah, and then the G2C is now the G3C. And the G3C, I think, is probably the best as far as that pistol goes.
Borderline a Hellcat. Like, it's borderline.
Yeah. But it was a Hellcat before the Hellcat.
Right.
And the fact that they even knew to put steel sights on.
Right. It drives me crazy, man.
Yeah.
But when we talk about like some that are home runs and some that aren't, like the GX4 carry with like the Strike Industries chassis, you know what I mean? Like comes with the stock. It's like, dude, they want $800 for that thing.
Yeah.
You know? So again, sometimes it's like
I looked at it. They had one at American Cash Exchange.
And
I didn't pick it up and look at it. I don't know if it's still there. It might be. But I was like, yeah. Not for me.
Yeah, it's too compact, and I won't go too hard on the compact thing because like the P365 Flux Raiders are crazy nice. And,
well, my buddy Jeremy, he's got one.
Hold on.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Because you said Jeremy earlier, and I was like,
yeah, same dude.
Yeah.
Bronco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I worked with that dude at 2 separate places.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
it kind of threw me off because I was like, Jeremy's into guns? I had no idea.
We went to...
Really?
Yeah. So Nanners went to high school with his wife.
Huh.
For those who didn't hear, but
the world is wildly small.
It is.
It really is.
It really is. But he has the X3 or the P365 Flux Raider.
Okay.
We shot it a few weeks ago at Godfrey's.
What do you think?
I didn't like it.
No. Way too much snap and like
yeah. And I shot it at SHOT Show during the range day, at 24, and I don't remember it being so punchy.
Same. And
then all of a sudden I shot Jeremy's, and I'm just like, okay, I shot like one magazine. I was like, I'm good.
It's neat.
Yeah. And you got the holster and everything that can go for it, and you can carry an appendix and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, you can go full blown Secret Service with that deal if you want
to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, But let's get back to FRTs real quick.
Yeah.
Because I'd like to hear your opinion. Because I went round and round. This probably would have been like September with another friend about FRTs. What's your opinion as to its practicality? Is it a range toy, or is it?
It's a tool of liberty, my man.
The stopgap.
100%. It is 100%. It is. Look, for this age right now, when my brother with his TX22, that's a range toy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't expect him to use that as a defensive tool. I don't expect him to like treat that as a tool of liberty. But here's the thing: is we have to normalize it in the market.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to normalize it in the market as a range toy, fine. But the reality is if I want to build an IAR, which is a tool of liberty, then it needs to be normalized somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's what it takes, fine. But it goes, and it's also backhandedly with the same concept of the $0 tax. Like any work against the NFA is good work, in my opinion.
Which, for those people who don't know, if you just go back and look at what the NFA was supposed to do.
Yeah, what was it supposed to do?
It was supposed to outlaw pistols.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what it was supposed to do, but they knew they couldn't do that. So then that's where they came with the barrel restriction, the barrel lengths, and they started defining things and so on and so forth. But still, even at that time, after the NFA passed, full autos were still perfectly
accessible.
legal. Yes. Yeah. You could order one from freaking JCPenney, Sears Roebuck catalog, So it had nothing to do. The NFA has never had anything to do about full auto anything. It was always barrel restriction lengths, barrel length restrictions rather, and their attempt to freaking
wipe pistols out.
Yeah. And they knew they couldn't, so they're like, oh well, okay, well I guess we'll come up with this tax stamp thing, and what's a good price that we could put on it? Well, I don't know. How much does a Tommy gun cost?
Yeah,
well, that's $200. Well, then the tax stamp is $200.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was incredibly cost prohibitive at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like $200. If that had grown progressively, if there was something in
it's like $6,000 now.
Yeah, I was just gonna say don't take this and run with it. But if that, who tried to introduce that during the whole fight of lowering it to $0, there was a couple of politicians in favor of making it like $2,700.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And someone right now is trying to reverse the $0 tax stamp.
Yeah,
in whatever next bill comes out.
Right.
So,
and who knows? I was reflecting back on 24 and 25, thinking, we're kind of living the fat life in the industry right now. Like, finally, we're starting to make some strides.
Yes,
I don't mean to say that the industry is making money, because the industry's down right now.
Yeah.
But I do mean to say, like, finally, we're making some strides against this type of stuff where, I am a constitutionalist. Like, that is my core being is shall not be infringed, period. If I can afford a war galleon that carries tow missiles, I should be able to buy it.
Yeah.
And I should be able to use it. Like, that's what it means. So if you're in American waters, if you're on American soil, I have the right to own it if I can afford it. And, like, am I arguing that Elon Musk should be able to put nukes on, Dragon 1 and Dragon 2? No. But, like, dude, if that's his prerogative, like, that's what this country's about. So
it boils down to the concept of dangerous freedom.
Yeah.
Right. I'd rather live in dangerous freedom than subjugated
stupidity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Safety.
Yeah. Safety. Yeah.
So the biggest piece to me, it's like I saw something yesterday, something about like the administration is going to allow for civilians to target pirates.
Yes. That's what made me think of that. Yeah. I was like, dude, if I could afford a warship and go do that, I would do that, bro.
Well, and that's historically speaking,
that's where we come from.
Exactly.
That's where the Navy was born, dude.
And we had private merchant vessels that had reached out to the founding fathers and was like, hey, can I put cannons on my boats? And they're like, absolutely. Yes, you should do that.
Absolutely. Piracy is a big deal. Of course you can.
Yeah, especially then.
Yeah.
Especially then.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's the argument that I ended up getting into late summer, early fall, whatever, with a friend of mine. He was sick and tired of seeing all of the content about IARs, right? So those listening that don't know what an IAR is, it's the infantry auto rifle, or a LAW, light auto weapon. So
that was born out of the Marine Corps, right?
It actually goes back a little bit further. It goes back to the development of the M249.
Okay.
Right? And Colt had their AR-15 IAR, or LAW, that they had come up with, and it has a big block handguard, right? And it was going to be open bolt, but AR-15, 100% AR-15. Came up with a couple of the different designs, and this is what, fast forward to the 2020s, this is where Red Right Hand comes from, right? Yep. So, but back in the 80s, early 90s, I guess it would be the mid 80s, I guess, Colt came up with their LAW IAR, and the military was like, we like this idea, because the Soviets were using it with their RPK, right? Yep. So they saw how it could be employed, but FN came in and was like, hey, you like the M240, right? And the military was like, absolutely, we love that. That's going to be a perfect replacement for the M60. Yes, we want that. They said, okay, cool. If you want that, you have to take the M249 as well. And off went the Colt IAR. So we haven't seen a AR-15 style auto rifle since then, because of the saw. And anyone who has ever worked with a saw, shot a saw, they're cool for about 5 minutes. Yeah. Then it's like, oh, this sucks.
Then they're a gummed up hot mess.
Yeah. It's so bad. Yeah. So anyway, I produce a video on the Red Right Hand upper receivers that he builds. Very robust receivers. Got a lot of great technology in it. Straight gas tubes, running the rifle speed, adjustable gas blocks and stuff like that.
The heat sinks.
Yes, all of that type of stuff, right? And I'm using a super safety to do what I can to test this out, to see if it's something I want. Absolutely is something I want. But a buddy of mine was like, this is stupid. IARs are stupid. You know, you're wasting your time, you're wasting money, you're wasting ammo. A belt fed is better than this, and so on and so forth. And it's like, the only reason why you think belt feds are better is because you've been told belt feds are better. Yes, when it comes to current situations with IARs, with Red Right Hand uppers, there are things that you have to do different. So, like, if you are, if you're not using it, you have to leave it sitting with the bolt open. If you've ran several mags through it, you want to leave it with the bolt open to let it cool down. Otherwise, you're going to have a cook-off, right? Belt feds, you don't have to do that because it's open bolt.
Right.
So yes, there are some different techniques that you have to put into your considerations when you're doing this type of stuff. However, this is something. He's like, no. My buddy was like, no. This is a range toy. Freaking civilians don't need anything like this. If you think that you're going to use something like this to fight off whatever in Red Dawn scenario, then you're going to get killed in the streets and all this other stuff. And I was like, what are you talking about, dude? And he's like, oh, I've talked to my friends who are, they've been in the infantry and they've used belt feds, and belt fed full autos are the way to go. They're better, and so on and so forth. And I was like, okay, great. That's cool. Who has that?
Yeah.
This is what we have right now. And he's like, well, who do you think you're going to, use this against? And I was like, who do you think I'm going to use it against?
It doesn't matter. That's the point.
That's the point, right?
Go look at Ukraine. Like, as soon as that started popping off, how many of these anti-gun traditional establishments, especially media, started reporting like, we need to send them. They need guns. Mm-hmm. Like this would be a perfect example of like why we should start donating rifles. And it's like, good thing we have an armed populace,
mm-hmm.
because if anyone was stupid enough to do it, we have those resources available. So like, I don't care if it's belt fed or mag fed or open bolt or closed bolt or whatever. Like, that is why this is important.
Yeah. Our conversations, it degraded pretty quickly,
mm-hmm.
And he got more and more agitated. I was having a great time. I was enjoying this conversation. I wasn't upset. I wasn't mad at him, but, and I told him, I was like, look, dude, just call me. Just give me a call. Why are we doing this through DM? Just call me and we can talk, and I can counter each one of your points, because I have a way to counter each one of your points. And he's like, well, you're going to be by yourself. What, are you going to carry 300 rounds by yourself? And I was like, no, I'm not. That's why I have a group of guys
mm-hmm.
that I trust and that I work with and I train with, and I, understand what their capabilities are and so on and so forth. And he's like, well, people don't have that. And I was like, have you not seen Milsim West?
Bro, that is the militia. Like, that was the original intent right there.
Yes, exactly. Now, obviously, militia has a negative connotation to it.
Yeah, I don't mean the modern version. I mean the constitutional definition.
Correct.
Right.
And that was what I just ultimately ended it with. And I was like, what does the Second Amendment mean? Obviously, everybody knows what the text says, but people conflate, militia and well-regulated and all that type of stuff. And then all that is freaking trained individuals.
Yeah.
Right?
Thank God for the Oxford comma, because that's exactly what it meant.
100%.
Yeah.
And, oh, by the way, anyone who comes up with the idea that's like, it's for the militia. It's for the militia. And I was like, okay, cool. Who makes up the militia?
When it was written, who was the militia?
It was every
citizen of the American nation.
Correctly. Is what's the legal term, I guess, that we could use? The fit male.
Right.
At the time, it would have been a capable, well-bodied male.
Right.
Who was well-regulated, meaning trained.
Yep.
Right. So, and I'm sure that we're talking to
people who get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're preaching to the choir here.
Yeah.
But
I'm passionate about it.
Yeah. And so I honestly believe there's growing pains for sure.
Yeah.
My buddy Joe from Firearms Freedom, he's had a Delta Team Tactical FRT. He's had an Atrius. Both of them broke within several hundred rounds. I've got right over here on this end table a super safety that has well over 800 rounds through it, and not a problem.
No marring, no nothing.
Nothing, yeah. So there's been growing pains, and I'm sure that some of them work better than others, but this is that gap. This is that bridge to get us
ready for the post-NFA world.
Yeah, as equal to the military.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
no, I'm really excited to see how much more we're gonna get. The whole Glock switch thing, I think, is just a bump in the road. It was a week 2 week. I can't remember, but like somebody had a Model V out, and they're
yes, 2 weeks.
Got a Switch,
2 weeks,
like ready to go.
Yeah.
You can't stop, and this is also what I mean by like the duplication in time of technology. Even if that was leaked a month before its announcement, before Glock Store let us all know, whatever it was, how much time did the original Glock Switch take?
Yeah.
Hard to say, right? But
right.
I do know it only took 6 weeks max for the Gen V Switch to be ready to go.
Oh, 100%.
So it's like you're not stopping this.
And actually, the funny thing about it is that actually helps Glock in their cases.
Yeah.
Because they said, hey, look, we made a manufacturing change. And within 2 weeks, some dude with a Dremel was able to bypass our safeties to make our product do something that it was never intended for it to do.
Yeah.
Which is still not really true.
I mean, the Glock 18 exists.
Yeah,
but...
exactly, right. So, ARFCOM News, they made the comment that every firearm is yearning to go burr.
It is, dude.
So, which may be the case, but it just helps Glock's case, like I said, to just say, hey, look, we have no control over the aftermarket. And where there's a will, the aftermarket will find a way.
Yeah.
And when I did my Glock V video, I had someone comment that Temu isn't going to develop a switch for the V because there's not going to be any money in it, and it's going to be superseded by the Gen 6. And I kind of want to go back to that comment.
Yeah, dude.
And just be like, hey, this didn't age very well.
Right. It's the same Switch, dude.
Yeah, exactly. And they came out
Even if it was different, who cares? Timo would still you'd still find a version out there. The Glock V exists.
Yeah.
People own it.
Well, the thing about it is the changes in the slide from the Glock V model carried over to the Gen 6.
Yeah.
So Temu would, in fact, make something.
Probably does.
And already does.
Yeah.
And it's just going to carry over into the Gen 6. Maybe some fitting, but let's face it, if you're an AK guy, you know all about fitting, right? So, which I have an FRT for my RPK.
Sick.
For the M72.
Yeah. So do I sniff a little IAR versus like RPK?
That would
actually
be pretty
right?
cool. Yeah. But the
find some old drums.
The only downside is there's tons of fitting that you have to do with that one.
Mm-hmm.
But the funny thing about it is it comes from a company called D's Nuts.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah. The company is called D's Nuts, and they produce an FRT for the AK. And my buddy Bolts and Holes, who's been on the podcast, so if you guys haven't heard his episode, swing by, check that out. But he fit his into his Romanian RPK.
Sick.
And man, it comes, you have to do some dremeling, but it comes with like, not a jig, but like a guide on how to make the contour correct.
Correctly.
Yeah. So I've talked to Bolts and Holes and was like, hey man, I just need to make a drive out to you, because he's not very far. It's probably about 6-8 hours.
That's not bad. That's a good weekend trip.
Yeah. Come out, set mine up, help me set mine up. I'll do all the work. You just need to tell me what to do.
Guide me.
And then we do a comparison between the Zastava M72 versus the Romanian, what do they call it? AMD2.
Take the IAR with you. Just make it like a whole thing.
Oh, yeah. That would actually be cool. Now, I mean, realistically, the red right hand upper and everything is probably going to be better for Americans, because
that actually leads in perfectly to what I was about to add to that. When you were talking about dude who's like, who's got a belt fed? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fight Light makes the belt fed upper.
They do, but it's like freaking $4,000.
Yeah, it's expensive. But I mean, I feel like cross production, multi-rifle value.
Red Right Hand is doing a collaboration with another company that's going to bring that cost down to like closer to 18, somewhere in there.
Sick. Yep.
And it's. I'm not saying that it's exactly the same as the Fight Light.
What is that? Do you remember M something?
I
can't remember. I shot it at like 23, 24. It was cool. But again, yeah, I don't have $5,000 for an upper.
Yeah. I mean, just look at Red Right Hand's Instagram Reels. You'll come across it.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially what it was a collaboration between this other company's upper that was a belt fed, and then Red Right Hand's barrel and gas tube technology and the heat sinks and everything else.
That's sick.
So they came together and have now produced something that is like $1,800, $2,000.
Do they use standard AR triggers though?
So that's the thing about Red Right Hand is they don't produce any lowers.
Right. Yeah.
It's all uppers.
Yep.
Right. So essentially, you order it and it can be mailed directly to your door. Which is cool. And then
Sick.
I used legit when I tested his upper. I used a PSA lower. Yeah, it was. I essentially took my PSA M16A4 clone that I was doing the IAR at home with the binary trigger,
right?
And I just pulled the upper off, put the Red Right Hand on.
Went to work.
Yeah, I swapped out the binary trigger for the super safety, and
speaking
no
of,
problem.
I thought I just saw a video. Just because I'm still thinking FRT right now. Is Rise Armament doing something?
Rise?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Because like I swear, and maybe because I thought the video said it was like an RA 535, which like I have. I've got the Rave 140 and the RA 530 535 something RA 5 something.
Okay.
Really nice, super light. But the way that this was being run in the video, I was like, dude, there's no way. Like I don't think.
Well, I mean, if you've ever been around Clay,
yeah,
when he really gets going, like if you watch his videos, I've talked to him one-on-one, and he has told me, he's like, there are some times where I have to be very, very careful about what I put on YouTube because they think
it's auto.
It's
or
a
force reset,
or I'm simulating automatic fire. So then he has to like take a video and like upload it multiple times just to get it greenlit so that he can actually put it out on YouTube, because he's just that fast. And he's running Geisley or ALG 8K triggers, right? So they're pretty fast. I mean, they're like 2.5 pound triggers, but I can't get it. I can't sustain that for 30 rounds.
Yeah, dude.
It's weird.
It's very, I've seen them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's split times that are nuts out there for sure. I saw the video and I was like, what?
It could, I mean,
because what a cool company to do it too.
Right, yeah,
you know what I mean?
Well, it's like Jag 99 or whatever his name is. Dude's always got a mask on, and he's out there just going to town like Clay. I don't know how he runs those triggers that fast. And he's doing it with like 308s sometimes, you know? I'm like, that's ridiculous, man. It's all one with a M1 Grand, and he ran it just as fast as his AR.
That is wild,
it's ridiculous.
Dude.
So
that goes back to the argument, though, right? Like, what are you going to, when it comes to like the NFA in the future and what's happening?
I mean,
there's always a Jerry Mitchell like out there.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
or a belt loop.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I never quite understood exactly how to bump fire until I went out and started trying to do it, especially with my my Riley Defense little 7.62x39 crink. I figured out how to do it real quick with that thing, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. But then I was like, well, that's like $10 of ammo that I just.
The range toy is getting expensive.
It really is. But you know, going back to the TX22.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, 22 long rifle.
That's an affordable range toy.
Stupid cheap. Yeah, stupid cheap. Now, running it suppressed is not going to be as probably as awesome as a lot of people think it's going to be, because to get it to run,
I've seen some people that talk about like needing the competition version of the TX22, the one that has the optic not mounted to the slide, but it actually has like a race gun arm. Yeah. Is one way to like help with that. And then also there's a company that's actually running like a weight. I don't know if it's a weight you put in the slide or a weighted slide that really helps cyclic rate because of the gas. But not as easy, but like definitely, because we're talking 22, right?
Yeah.
Like still way more affordable.
Man, and freaking PSA had them for sale for their like 12 days of Christmas. It was the TX22 plus 4 magazines. 2 of the magazines were like 21 rounders.
Yeah.
For like $350.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God.
That's what my brother got.
At the time I couldn't afford it. I had already spent my budget on Christmas for the family and everything. But now I'm like, ugh. So,
yeah, dude. It's definitely one of those things where like if we can get that thing tuned up and like right, I might just do it.
And then
like,
suppress it as well.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. But the back to the suppressing aspect of it was, so I have my Ruger Mark IV, and then I have a suppressor from Anechoic, and it's like stupid light. It's like 2.8 ounces.
Yes.
Stupid light. And does well with suppression, but on subs, which sound great through it, it doesn't want to cycle reliably through that Ruger Mark IV. So then you have to run either supersonics or have to find something kind of like in between.
Yeah.
And there is a
quiet.
Yeah. I found some of that.
Yeah.
And ran it, and I was at Godfrey's, so we were inside, and I was like, this really isn't quiet, Not what I was expecting. I was expecting more like subsonic type of stuff, but it really wasn't, so whatever.
Yeah, but I'm convinced. Dude, that reminds me, just because you were talking about 22 cans and light, that NLA can, BS had like a little hiccup with that order, and it just like pushed us way back.
Right, yeah.
But those came in, and so we need to reach back out to them and get you squared away with one of those cans, because like I think that's one of those, on one of our Monday meetings with a new joint, we were kind of talking about, because of what the NFA is going to be going through this year, there's going to be like 50 new suppressor companies claiming things. And
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's going to be a lot of stuff this year, but
can you imagine? I don't. If I was the dude in charge of Pew Science,
oh, dude,
I would be crapping my pants right now,
bro. The amount they put hard work in, and like I cannot imagine, their backlog is going to be crazy.
Oh yeah.
Those
of you that don't know, Pew Science takes suppressors and runs it through a legit like scientific examination as far as its decibel levels, using different types of barrel lengths versus different types of ammo, and
different points for the mic to pick up decibels, like all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. So it was. It's been interesting to see how they put all that stuff out, but that takes time.
Yeah.
It takes tons and tons of time, and Zastava had their Zvuk reviewed by Pew Science. They released it in July, and that information didn't get out until like November.
Right.
Yep. So I don't know if that's because of backlog or if it takes that long, or I don't know how their schedule goes. But
yeah. Actually, I just saw one with Charlie Cox doing that 5.56 can from like Silent Labs, or what is it? Dude,
there's so many.
It's like an inch and a half. Like,
right. That was Micah.
Can. Yeah,
that's Micah.
Oh, did I say Charlie? My bad.
You said Charlie.
Yeah.
I mean, I get them confused too. Yeah. But yeah. That was Micah, and they sold out on the pre-orders.
Yeah.
I mean, lickety split.
Way cool.
And it's like what, like 3 inches
Bro,
long.
it is tiny.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
and light, super light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see how that turns out. But the other thing too is like, man, freaking, I've had like suppressor companies. There's a new company called Tuna Cans, and they wanted to send me a can and ask me, what do you want? Here's what we offer. I was like, throw a 46 cal in there. I haven't heard from them for 2 months, and my other friends who kind of hooked me up with them, they are receiving theirs now, And
so you're still kind of hoping it swings through? And
well, I mean, if it does, it does.
Yeah.
If not, no big deal. I've got a number of other companies that I've been working with. I'm Griffin Armament.
Yep.
I have been ecstatic with their HRT 762 with the dual lock. Man, I love that can. Love it. If I had to buy one between it and the Dead Air Sandman S, man, that would be tough.
Yeah.
That'd be a tough decision. So, but it's a damn good can in it, and I've beat it up, and it's ran very, very well. So, but the suppressor market right now is about to explode.
It's going to be wild.
And I don't expect, someone made a comment, I saw it on Instagram, that we will see 50 new suppressor companies in 2026, and we will see 50 less suppressor companies in 2027.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see a lot of rise and fall here for sure. That's the market, right? Like, when EVs went big, like, we saw a whole bunch of legacy manufacturers try and switch over and do something, and the couple of the new ones hung in there tough. But like, I'm convinced that, and that's good. That's a good thing for the market, right? Like, that's the same thing we were talking about with FRTs.
Yeah.
Like, you want to encourage that competition. You want to encourage a lot more because, like, first of all, we're looking for innovation. We're looking for flooding the market. We want more of this widespread in the market, right?
Yeah.
Like, we want cans, SBAs, SBRs, like all of it. They need to be commonplace. So
how much do you think 3D printing is going to play into the market?
Well, it's already affected it. And
It
in
has.
a market that, like,
But like, I'm saying, like, moving forward, because like Micah just did a collab with like MK3 and somebody else, and the can, I think this is, I may have saw something else, but there was a can I just saw that was 3D printed Inconel.
Yeah.
And
that's most of them.
that blows my mind,
Yeah.
because like the Zvuk from Zastava is titanium,
Right.
3D titanium. I was like, okay, I get that. But then you're talking about freaking Inconel and all, and I'm like, oh, it's going to be so difficult to keep track of.
That's the Silent Chico's printed Inconel is the
Is
Velos.
that what it's-
the
okay.
Velos. It's low back pressure. It's a lot easier to do like low back pressure designs with printing than it is like with additive manufacturing versus trying to cut that design. So, dude, it's gonna be a wild world. And that NLA can that I was talking about, that 22 can, that's carbon fiber. So I mean,
Right.
like, that's going to be a runner in this deal too, especially for smaller caliber cans.
And I got that barrel.
Did you?
Yeah. We talked about
For the 5.7?
for the 5.7. Yeah. For the PSA Rock.
Yeah.
So I've got that now. So we can definitely try it on that too. So I've just got to remember where I put it.
Mark is swamping out.
Dude,
you've got product laying around here everywhere.
Well, so we had Christmas, and over the holidays, my son came up from his hometown and just crashed on the couch with his girlfriend, and cool, but I had to like pick up
all your shit,
all my crap in the basement, So all of that just got thrown into the storage room, and then it slowly migrates itself back out, and then I shove it back in there.
Unfinished projects, man.
Oh man,
yeah, I get it.
It's so bad. So, But we're going to go ahead and start wrapping things up.
Yeah.
Jake, man, thank you so much for this year.
Absolute pleasure, boss. I appreciate it. Right back at you. It's been a great year. I'm excited for this year.
I am
it's
too.
Gonna be a lot of fun.
Too. I hope you guys are excited. I mean, the future's kind of scary, but at the same time, there's some really cool things that are going to happen too, I think. So, but just appreciate you being able to fill in for Jefe and then just coming and hanging with us too, because we get the three of us together. It's ridiculous. We'll need to talk about SHOT, obviously, as well. But anything else you want to throw out there as we close out?
So my closing statement I'll keep fairly uniform to my previous ones. Take care of your friends and family. Love them deeply. That is the riches in this world, not these material items we speak of, not silver, which is at almost $80 an ounce right now. Love your friends and family. Give thanks to God. He's the reason that we get to do this in the great country we're in. And that's my biggest ones. Love your friends and family and give thanks that we're able to do this.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, and Happy New Year, people.
Yes.
All right. Hopefully you already got kick-started on your New Year's resolutions a couple months ago. But
that's what my little exit dad advice or whatever you want to call it is. Fuck New Year's resolutions. Right? Screw all of them. You are not changing because of a day.
Right.
You need to be changing every single day.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be January 1st. It doesn't need to be a birthday. It doesn't need to be a holiday. You should be trying to find ways to improve yourself each and every single day. You should be able to kick yourself's ass from yesterday.
Yeah.
If you're not able to kick your ass yesterday, then you need to figure all of that out and fix it. So that's my whole thing.
Right on.
I don't get into the whole new year, new me. No, man. It's a new year and it's the same feral dickhead me. I'm not a dickhead, but I like to think I am. With that being said, we're going to get out of here. I hope you guys have a restful new year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And hey, the second Friday, for those of you who has to go back to work on a Friday, you got the weekend to shake it off as well.
A little break.
I'm supposed to work on Friday. I don't think I am going.
Probably not.
Too much. I got to actually take Dad to a doctor.
There you go.
So I get to spend some time with him, and I'll get to show him. I'll get to show him the 1911.
Yeah. That thing's nuts.
So, but needless to say, we're going to get ahead and get out of here. Thanks again, guys. Happy New Year. We'll catch you guys in the next time. Don't forget to live, laugh,
laugh,
live, laugh, and LARP. Bye, y'all.